Sweltering September, everybody. I'm in northern Ontario, and we've got temperatures this week over 35 degrees Celsius every day. See that air conditioning unit back there? Doesn't work! And I wouldn't be too upset about it if I hadn't spent $2,500 a month ago to get it working. Oh, you need a new compressor. Okay, great. You mean I shouldn't buy a new air conditioning unit for $5,000? I should fix the old one for half that price? Yeah, if they ever tell you that, guys, tell them to you know what? Get the new one. Because the guy has been back 4 times to fix that thing, and it still ain't working. And here we go. Heat wave. What's annoying me about this whole process, guys, is I got a bill from these guys. I don't know if I mentioned it on the channel or not. I've never received a bill like this in my life. The part was $1,800. And then it said miscellaneous, $800. So it was $2,500 and something and change, and I don't know what I paid for. That pisses me off. Yeah, it's the heat. Gary's going to rant a little bit today. The phone, some update happened to the Samsung phone, so I'm sure you guys have seen it in the previous videos here in the last couple weeks. The frame rate keeps unsyncing. It's not 60 frames, 59.9 frames that it should be, and therefore the audio and the video sync away from each other, and the video gets all choppy. And so I've lost multiple, probably a couple dozen clips when I'm out filming for you guys. I never know what's going to happen, and when you're recording, you don't know that it's happened until you play it back on the computer, and then it's all choppy. So I've turned stabilization off on the phone. We're going to have to film a couple of videos with that. Somebody online said that that would fix it. I don't know how that's a possible solution, guys. You pay for a, top of the line phone, and then you have to disable some of the features. Like, that's not cool either. So I don't know. But anyway, lots of stuff coming up, guys. I've got the next fishing adventure, part 2 with Dad coming up. It's a good one because we do some metal detecting, and I actually find something really cool. Dad catches a monster fish, and we do some paranormal at the camp, and we get some really cool responses. So that's coming up on Friday. You guys will want to watch part 2. There's more to it than there was part 1. Part 1 was just hanging out with Dad. Cool. But the second one I thought was a little more interesting. Check that one out. We're going to get back in the woods and to the stone box. It's been over a week. I want to go back and see, is that necklace gone? Is it still there? Is there something else in the box? You know the routine, guys. This will be the 4th time we've gone back. Yes, stuff is happening. We've gotten so many weird vocals back here, guys. I don't even know what to say on that. I think the strangest one was in the last video, which is called a windy howl, I think was the name of the video. Whatever that was that made that noise was loud, guys. It was powerful. And I have no clue what it was. So, in the video before that, we heard all kinds of stuff going on. It was almost like communication between 2 beings, animals, whatever. There was back and forth happening there. So you never know what we're going to get when we go back in there. And after I work on this computer for a little bit here this morning, I think that's the plan. We're going to go and maybe take a walk to the stone box. Depending. It's so hot. But that's the plan. So lots of stuff coming up on the channels. Of course, we've got another Jack and Carol murder mystery video coming up. Reversed Messages from the Dead. I believe it's episode 7 is also fully filmed and edited. That's coming out on the channel. Some cool stuff there, guys. Again, blows my mind when we play these responses we get on the Spirit Box backwards. We know that the apps were never meant to do that, and it's crazy that it still makes sense. They're still talking about this murder case in reverse, so check that one out as well. Oh, and I forgot, I did actually get trout fishing with Grant the other day. So we went and tried a new river that we've never done before. We took my raft, took the truck and headed back to a spot probably about 60 kilometers from here. And we actually caught some trout. Time is running out. The season ends in September here, so I've got a couple weeks left. I do want to get out again. My buddy Stu and I, we try to do the same river we do every year. The trout come up to spawn in the fall, so you get bigger trout this time of year. So there's that trip possibly coming up as soon as Stu gets a day off. And and then I want to go, you know, a couple more times if I can. I also made a bunch of modifications to the boat to make the battery fit back underneath. I had some issues there with, you know, the clamps not working, the battery not fitting under the box because I put it in a new plastic housing and it wouldn't fit. I'm also looking to make or modify my boat so that the gas can go under the seat. I don't want to cut the seat, but I find this, I don't know why I never thought of this before. The gas can is always in my way no matter where I put it, behind me, in front of me. If you put it in front of you, then you're tripping over the line the whole time. If it's at the back of the boat, then the back of the boat's too heavy to get up and plane when you're just one guy in the back, all the weight's in the back. Why does nobody make a flat, low-profile boat gas tank that you put under the seat? This should be a common thing, right? Everybody, you get these big square gas tanks like they've been for the last 80 years, and now even those gas tanks are up to $80 for a gas tank. I'm like, I'll take a flat one, 2 feet long, as long as it holds 24 gallons. I don't care what shape it is, as long as I can put it under the boat seat. I'm going to be a millionaire, guys, because I'm going to start manufacturing that and the arm that you use to put your transducer down for your fish finder. Because they expect you to drill a hole in the bottom of your boat to attach a transducer when you hook up a fish finder. Nobody that I know has ever done that. We've all made our own arms, adjustable arms that either swing up, pull up, and you put a pin in it, you raise, lower it, set it, and that way you're not putting any holes in the bottom of your boat. So between those two things, guys, $1 million ideas right here. This may be the year. As you guys know, right at the end of the season, we had 3 days left. My buddy Tim and I finally got around to changing a couple of the components in there, little sensors, and we also bumped up the throttle, the RPM on that, and I didn't really get to test it. We went on a little trip through the woods here. It seemed to run okay, but you guys know that Arctic has been my nemesis since I bought it. 2019 Norseman 3000, and I can hate it. So this might be the year, guys. If it gives me one iota of trouble, we're ditching that, and I'm buying a new Skidoo. Please donate to the channel in large sums to help Gary buy a new Skidoo. At this point, guys, I could buy a 10-year-old Skidoo and it would still run better than that machine. You know, you just get it in your head. You expect the worst and then it happens. And that machine has been terrible since the day I brought it home, from the violent shake in the front of it, which is actually come back to haunt us, because that's what happened to that throttle control sensor. Is it shook itself loose and out of position, and that's why the machine died and was coming up with that error saying that that part was no good. However, the part was still good. We took it out, put the brand new one in, and the same thing was happening, and we realized, hey, wait, it's not in the right position. So we had to position the new one and adjust it, and then we were like, okay, now it's working. So I kept the old one as well because there was nothing wrong with that sensor. Yeah, and I told you guys when I got that machine home, and I showed you how much it shook violently, and we took it all apart, and we put in padding wherever we could, and we, you know, turned the exhaust, and we tried everything we could to make that violent shake come out of there. And of course, you know, brought it back, and they told us, oh, that's the way all twins are. It's not a 2-stroke, it's a 4-stroke. Garbage. Just gonna walk around here for a second because we've turned stabilization off. So if you're really shaky, sorry guys. I don't think I personally am gonna film, well, I can't keep filming the way it has been because I'm losing clips. And sometimes it's important stuff. So I just wanted to move a little bit. I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to update you guys on is hunting videos will be starting here. Bird season is coming up, so Class V, I know he's always asking me, go on a bird hunting trip somewhere. Yeah, Dad and I talked the other day when we were up at camp. We're going to get the 4-wheelers out. We're going to do some running, exploring, maybe even a little bit of trout fishing in if we can get up, you know, and gone before the season ends on the trout. But Dad's pretty concerned with watching his house every day. In fact, he's obsessed with it. And I don't blame him because they're trying to cut corners. They're doing things that, you know, he's old school. He built his first house, him and the old guy down the road. My dad knows what he wants. And, you know, if you're ever in that situation, guys, don't say to your dad that it doesn't really matter which I may have said. I'm like, what do you care? Because in 15 years, you're not going to be here. Don't say that. I told him the house would last longer than him. Don't worry about it. He didn't like that. So, yeah. Think before you open your mouth. All right, I got a ton of work to do on this computer. It always takes about 4 hours to get everything reset. So we'll get in there, reset that, and hopefully we'll hit the swamp this afternoon. It might actually be cooler in the swamp, in the shade, than it's going to be out here. It's already 28, 29 degrees, and they're calling for, like I say, 38 degrees, I think it is this afternoon. So I don't know if that's the way it is down in Florida and some of you guys, these hot places, Arizona and that. Oh, God, I don't know what's going on with this planet, guys, but it's not good. All right, stay tuned. We got work to do. Lots of videos coming up. I'll catch you guys in the next adventure. Also, one more thing I wanted to mention, guys. The Haunting of Hill House. Started watching that yesterday with Hannah. Really good. And when you're done Haunting of Hill House, the next episodes are, well, different series, but by the same guys. Haunting of Bly Manor. Same kind of thing. It's a new story, different characters. They use the same actors. And then there's a third one, which is the new one. Midnight Mass. I'm only on the Haunting of Hill House, but man, it's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. So just throwing that out to all you paranormal nuts out there. Check it out.